Welcome back to the Roadside Rescue YouTube channel. I'm Ernest, and on today's episode, we've got an old Ford Courier. First time I've actually worked on a Ford Courier, but I have replaced an alternator on a Cougar that was almost the exact same before. This is one of the hardest alternators I'm ever gonna have to replace. Yeah, there might be a few harder, but this is up there. I'm not looking forward to it, but I am looking forward to helping this college girl get her car back on the road. So let's see if we can get this done today and get this car driving again. In fact, at this point, I'm not even sure if it's the alternator. It's a supposed alternator. I'll usually just bring one with me if the customer thinks that's the problem. They told me the battery light came on while it was driving, and I said, sounds like. In the past, I've disconnected the power steering line, and I've seen people doing that online as well, but this time I think I'm gonna be able to get that alternator out without the power steering disconnect. However, I brought some fluid with me for that just in case. The whole entire plastic runner is just falling off of this car, so I'll probably fix that too. All right, I've got this new Hompow jump starter. I've got a lot of jump starters. They sent this one to me, so let me use it for this. We'll do a little bit of an unboxing, and I'll tell you what I think compared to my other jump boxes. Get my box opener there. There we go. I would open the box, but not the plastic. There it goes. Okay, here's the Hompow model 𝐕𝐞𝐧𝐦𝐵. Comes in a nice carrying case. That's important because I have a lot that don't. This will keep it nice and safe in your car, all the pieces together, because it's easy to lose the little small pieces that come with it. These always double as power banks, so this Hompow jump starter comes with this plug, so you can plug in a traditional cigarette lighter power source and a charging cable. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this up to my battery and charge it all the way up. It has a built-in LED light, and it actually has two outputs so you can charge different devices. Here's where you charge it. Here's where you plug in that cigarette lighter. And here's where we're going to plug in the jumper cable. Okay, there you can see the LED inside here telling us it's ready to go. This car hasn't run for several days, so this is going to be a great test to see how strong this jump box is. This battery was almost completely dead and wouldn't even recharge. Yeah, that battery light's still on. This Hompow jump starter works great. It would be great for a smaller mid-sized car, and Hompow's giving my channel a discount, so check out the link in the description and the pinned comment if you want one. So after this, I wasn't even able to do much with the car. The doors kept locking because the anti-theft kept going off, and I was having a real hard time opening the doors, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a new battery replacement. I'm hoping that just because these jump starters keep resetting, maybe that's why the anti-theft is going off, and with a new battery, hopefully I can just work on this thing peacefully and the horn won't keep honking at me. So for now, I just took the battery out of my truck to see if it just needs some better current. I couldn't really set it in there well, so I'm just trying real quick to get this anti-theft off. Obviously can't do it. All right, I'm back here. It's the next day. No spots over there, so I just parked in this parking lot here for this apartment complex, so doubt anybody will have a problem with that. No, my Shasta. It's gonna explode now. Take this with me. Hey, don't break. Worm still doesn't like that. All right, so now let's do it for real. The alternator is right there at the bottom. I actually watched 𝕮𝖊𝖘𝖈𝖚𝑑𝐿 video, and I think he might have done a couple of things different than the way I'm gonna do it, so let's get going. All right, that's all the room we get. There's the alternator. So I've got to take this belt off. I told the vehicle owner that their belt looked like it could go back on, but it also looks like it's significantly worn just from being used a few years. Not that there's anything serious with it, but if they wanted, I could put the new belt on for no extra labor, and so they want to go ahead and do that. And I told them I'll see how that tensioner feels. If it feels weak, then I'll recommend replacing that. It's an old car though, so you can really just pick apart anything that you want to. Those bushings are terrible. The boot on the outer tie rod end is all crunched up. But hey, there's the alternator. I've got skinnier hands than Eric, so let's see if I can do this a little bit quicker. Well, I've gone without a ratcheting serpentine belt tool for a while just because of how thin this one is. You can see. but the only way I could get this one in was at this weird angle, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and pick one of those ratcheting ones up for moments like this in the future. But luckily this is like the easiest routed belt I've ever seen, aside from the fact it goes inside the tensioner. That shouldn't be a big deal. It goes around the outside of everything else, so came off pretty easy. I didn't have to hardly twist it at all, and I think that tensioner will be fine. All right, so now I'm under here. And there's, you can barely see anything, one of the bolts for the alternator, 15mm right there, 13mm on that bracket. I can take the wires off when I get that loose. Luckily the other bolt isn't hidden behind that bracket, but it's out, kicked off to the side over there, so I can't see it. Well, we might be able to see it right here. Up there maybe. Yeah, up there. There it is, I see it. So I can get to that. So I can actually reach all the way up here and get a socket on the end of those bolts. And that makes it way easier for me. So if you can't, then I think you just need to put a couple of extensions on your wrench and reach it like that. But do what you can. Down, one to go. Same thing here, my skinny little arm made it all the way to the top up there. That one's far away though, I'll tell you what. All right, now I've got this extension running all the way over here, so I can put a wrench on it, and it's just reaching all the way up to over there, if you can see it up in there. There we go. All right. There's the hole. Just go ahead and slide the new one back in. I'm gonna push those pins in with a wrench real quick. Now probably just a pry bar and a hammer. There you go, the battery light's off. Still having an issue with the anti-theft.
clicking and clacking, but let's let this run for a minute and see if that stops. Can't close the door though because the key's in here and it might lock the door.
Well, I was never able to get the security problem figured out, but I was able to get this car running and back on the road, so I'm super excited about that, and so was the vehicle owner. If you like this episode, make sure you're subscribed and you leave this video a thumbs up. If you want to help out, you can donate at the links in the description or leave me a positive comment, and I'll see you on the next episode of Roadside Rescue. That's a job well done.